Government cheese. Stop eating that government cheese. It ain't no good for you. Listen, for you students who have been ripped off by Hinkerson Jr. and 6 others, you know, that's that government cheese right there. I'm explaining government cheese to you. Government cheese is something that tastes good, it looks good, but it's not good for you. Now, I'm saying that to say this. Colleges have been ripping off students. It's just that Hinkerson Jr. and his 6 cronies, they were just so blatant by putting their pictures up on Instagram and all this other stuff of him, with a Gucci bag, and he had his own photographer, and, he was on a yacht and all this other stuff, after stealing $1 million, and he actually got away with $400,000. And then he, once they, had fired him, now he's under investigation, he hired a lawyer, and he's asking people to pray and support for him because he did nothing wrong. Now, I wanted to add something to this because I'm not going to read this article. I heard about it on World Star, but I want to add something to this. A few things. One, I went to an HBCU. And while I was there, I went to Talladega University. And while I was there, we actually had to have a school meeting because of the same thing that was happening to us. Now, when I say we had a school meeting, we didn't actually go to the teachers and stuff like that, until later. We went to the board. But first, we had a student meeting in the church. So we had a student meeting first, and then we were all trying to figure out if we all had this same problem because the school facility was terrible, the food was terrible, the living quarters were terrible, and this is a known fact for some of you people. Just in case some of you didn't know this, a lot of these HBUs get grants, and this is what he was stealing. See, Talladega was built by slaves. I mean, when you go in there into the library, it has a picture of the story of the Armstead. It was built by slaves, okay? And a lot of these other schools get grants because of that. They get grants from the state and from the government. So this is what he was stealing. Those grants are supposed to go towards making the building better. A lot of those grants that are coming in are supposed to go to the students for their books and for their living situation, and of course for their tuition. Okay, so there's all kind of grants. Like here where I live, there's a grant that you automatically get if you go to school. It's called an Ohio Instructional Grant. You get that grant once you file through, federal, once you file federally, and then, blah, 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 through your financial aid. That money comes to the school, then it's dispersed to you once you've, bought your books and all that, yada, yada, yada. You guys knows how it goes. But the grants that you don't see are the grants because of the school itself. Private schools get these, and I think Howard is a private school. Historical colleges get these grants, and so on and so forth. So what I'm really getting at here, this is the government cheese right here. This is it looks good, it tastes good, but it ain't good for you. This is the government cheese right here. The school that I went to was actually the heads of departments, the presidents, and so on and so forth, came from another HBCU. And they did the same thing at Grambling. So they came from Grambling, went to Talladega, and were doing the same thing from one school to another. And when they got caught, they weren't in prison. They were just kicked out of the school. So they would take all of their faculty members with them who were doing the same shiesty stuff, go to another school, do the same shiesty thing, and rip off black schools and just jump from school to school to school. That's what they did. And how I figured that out is I dated a young lady who went to Grambling. And she told me what was going on. And I was just like, well, wait a minute. That's going on at the school I'm going to now. Listen, I can't say don't go to Howard because there's pride in graduating from Howard. I don't want to say black pride, but white people go to these schools too. But these schools are built up for black people to go there and have a black experience. Well, that's exactly what you're getting. You're getting a black. I'm sorry. Let me say. I'm sorry. Because white schools will do it to you too. They'll do it to you. They'll do it to you in a heartbeat. And then they'll say it's something else. These colleges are built to do this. And I hope this Tyrone Hinkerson spends a good stint in jail and has to pay all of that money back. And to make it so bad, he was in law school. I mean, come on. He's going to be a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? He was going to end up getting money anyway. But he and the 6 others just decided to be super greedy right now and start ripping everybody off. And that's that. The thing about it is this happened over the course of 9 years. They've been doing this. And guess what? He didn't learn that on his own. They were doing it before him. I bet if you go back 9 years ago, you're going to find the same story as somebody else who was doing it in the same school. That's that government cheese right there. So I'm sorry you kids had to go through that. I actually went through that when I went to an HBCU. I'm not going to say don't go to an HBCU, but I'm going to say watch your money. Ask the important questions. Ask those questions because if a student and faculty member, like he's a student, and he worked there. Let me tell you something. I worked at Talladega while I was going to school there. You know how much money I made in a month? $200. No, I made that around 2 weeks or something like that. That's how much money I made. They don't pay you a lot of money when you're a student there, getting your degree there. $200. That's what I made. This guy made $400,000 within 9 years. And this is not somebody capturing him. That's not what this is. This is him telling his photographer to take this picture and watch me floss over the money I stole from students who are actually getting a degree. That's exactly what you're seeing here. Oh my God, the arrogance. The arrogance, the pure arrogance. Like the president was stealing our money. The president of the school, him and his secretary and all those goofy people, they were all stealing the money. This guy right here, he's a student. Straight jacket. With the Gucci bag and the loafers. He told his photographer to take this picture. Another semester down, another bag secured. In case some of you people don't know what that means, he's saying bag is a reference for money. Money in the bag. Whenever you hear rappers say, my bag, you in my bag, that means you're trying to get out my money. This dude's bragging about it on Instagram. Go to jail forever. I hope this dude gets 10 to 15 years. I hope he has to pay back every single dime. I hope he never has a chance to become a lawyer. Never. He does have a degree, but I hope he never has a chance to become a lawyer. I hope that is completely stripped away from him because he has no moral and ethics fortitude about him. And you have to have those when you become a lawyer. There are ethics laws and there are laws of morality. If you don't believe that, you need to check on how some of these people have gone to jail because of ethics. Case in point, back in 2009, when the whole housing thing went down, and all these people were, they were getting these loans, and these people were talking them into getting these loans that they couldn't afford. Then all of them lost all their houses, and a bunch of people became homeless. Well, guess who went to jail? The people who were talking them into getting the loans. The bankers just said, hey, here you go. But the people who talked them into it, they got caught on ethics. They put them in jail for ethical crimes. It is unethical to do what this man did. Look at this. Ethics all day. Look. I just want you guys to know that this right here is a two-way sheep fur or whatever. This coat is worn two ways. Look at this. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. Oh, man. Yo, you might get beat up by some college football players. Doesn't Howard got a football team? They might just beat this dude up on principle. Anyways, your boy Tone 202. And this that government cheese. I'm out.